Chelsea Griffin found an instant connection with Kwame Appiah on Love is Blind, but in the end, she deserved better. When the speech-language pathologist and the sales development manager stepped into the pods for the first time, they hit it off. The two found a comfortable flow of conversation and felt like they could be themselves with each other. It didn't take long for Chelsea to fall head over heels in love with Kwame, but she wasn't the only one who saw his potential. Fellow castmate Micah Lucier was also attracted to Kwame, and felt he could be the one walking her down the aisle. The competition for Kwame's heart sparked some drama and tension along the way on Love is Blind, ultimately revealing 10 obvious reasons why Chelsea deserved better. 10. Kwame didn't reciprocate Chelsea's strong feelings on Love is Blind. While the two did share a special connection and got along well, Kwame didn't match Chelsea's energy on Love is Blind. Time and time again, he kept thanking Chelsea for making sure he felt loved, valued, and appreciated, but more often than not, he didn't treat her in that same manner. She constantly made sure he felt heard, and in the pods, she didn't leave a trace of doubt about how she truly felt about him. Chelsea was all in from the beginning, but Kwame had his doubts and didn't verbally reaffirm his love for her when the opportunity presented itself. 9. Chelsea was Kwame's second choice on Love is Blind. Even though Kwame did propose to Chelsea, it was only because his relationship with Micah fell through when she chose Paul Peden. Kwame had his heart set on Micah from the start of Love is Blind, and envisioned his entire future with her right off the bat. While they were in the dating stages, Kwame even told his male castmates that he felt Micah was the one. He had a difficult time wrestling with his emotions after having his heart broken by Micah, and it was hard to hide his streak of jealousy toward Paul. It was obvious if things had worked out with Micah, Kwame wouldn't have picked Chelsea. 8. Kwame disrespected Chelsea on Love is Blind. Kwame disrespected Chelsea with his interactions with Micah on Love is Blind, but it was a hurdle they were eventually able to overcome. Not long after the newly engaged couple landed in Mexico, they started talking about what it would be like to meet their fellow castmates. Without hesitation, Kwame told Chelsea that he had to meet Micah and have the opportunity to speak with her after the way everything went down between them. When the two did finally meet at the pool party, he talked to Micah in private, which bordered on flirting and a drawn-out conversation about all the what-ifs in their relationship, and it was completely unnecessary. 7. Kwame made Chelsea second-guess herself on Love is Blind. Chelsea had to step away and reflect on her relationship and her future with Kwame. When he spent all his time at the pool party talking to Micah and seemingly forgetting that Chelsea even existed, it was a tough moment for her. She tried to respect Kwame's need to get closure with his failed connection with Micah, but the fact that he was so invested in their conversation and getting to the bottom of his feelings with her made Chelsea question everything on Love is Blind. 6. Kwame didn't make Chelsea a focus with Micah on Love is Blind. When Kwame and Micah finally met face to face after picking someone else in the pods on Love is Blind, neither one of them focused on their partners. Instead of mentioning all the reasons why Chelsea was the perfect match for him and letting Micah know that he was confident and happy with his decision, he did the complete opposite. Chelsea barely came up in the conversation, and their over 20-minute discussion solely focused on their failed connection and all the reasons it didn't work out. 5. Kwame's castmates pointed out his poor behavior on Love is Blind. Kwame's castmates even called him out about his shady behavior with Micah on Love is Blind. Brett Brown, in particular, gave Kwame advice about the importance of keeping his relationship with Chelsea at the front and center of his mind. His connection with Micah obviously didn't work out, but there was no point in him putting so much energy into it when he had Chelsea by his side. Brett wasn't afraid to bring Kwame's poor behavior to his attention, and the fact that anyone had to remind him of his wrongdoing in the first place spoke volumes about his character and self-awareness in his relationship with Chelsea. For Kwame tried to make excuses on Love is Blind instead of immediately taking accountability and recognizing that he was in the wrong. Kwame's first move was to make excuses and try to justify his behavior to Chelsea. The Love is Blind star tried to explain that there's always a good reason for his actions, and in this instance, it was necessary for him to end things with Micah on good terms and not leave everything up in the air without a conversation. Chelsea then had to explain to him how his interaction with Micah disrespected her, and it wasn't going to be something that she would put up with again in the future. 3. Chelsea had to be real. With Micah on Love Island Blind, Kwame should have been the one to set the record straight with Micah and draw a line in the sand on Love is Blind. Unfortunately, he left it up to Chelsea, and she had to face Micah and tell her how her conversation and actions with Kwame made her feel uncomfortable. Trying to find common ground with Micah and being honest about how she felt put Chelsea in the middle of the situation, and made her look insecure and threatened by Micah. Kwame should have put Chelsea in that position. 2. Kwame wasn't over Micah on Love is Blind. It was clear that Kwame wasn't over Micah on Love is Blind. Even after proposing to Chelsea, it was obvious he still had lingering feelings for Micah, and that his head was full of questions about what could have been if the pair had walked out of the pods together. Kwame's trip to Mexico with Chelsea was focused on closure with Micah once she showed up instead of a romantic getaway with his fiancée. 1. Kwame took advantage of Chelsea on Love is Blind to a degree. Kwame took advantage of Chelsea's kind and understanding attitude on Love is Blind. He knew that she would still be there, despite his mistakes, because she had made her love undoubtedly clear to him from the beginning. Kwame's treatment of Chelsea in the new stages of their relationship was in complete contrast to her feelings for him, and was a big red flag from the start.
나